anyone's homework, brother. No.
All right, darlings, happy Monday! Welcome to Magic Mondays! Today we're going to be playing Zimone and Dina on the Historic Brawl queue. This is a favorite commander of mine. Let's go ahead and check the tech. There we go. So we're going to be playing a pretty bog standard Sultai, kind of aristocrats type move. Our game plan is really simple and straightforward. Our goal is to ramp up to Zimone and Dina as soon as we can. We have a ton of sources of turn 1 acceleration to get us there. Everything from our place additional land cards to mana dorks to Utopia Sprawl. Great addition from Eldraine. Goal is to drop Zimone and Dina on turn 2, chip in some of our high value creatures. We've got our Bloodghasts, our, let's see, Sylvan Rangers, all of these creatures that love going to the yard, and then make our way to either some really high end spells. I would love topping out on a Villainous Wealth, or just getting a ton of value out of things like Tatiova, Seagate, Primeval Titan. Liliana's an excellent curve topper here. She does everything we want her to, between sacrificing creatures, giving us card draw, having the potential to win with that kind of very specific board clear if we're able to keep her around long enough. But overall, it's a fun strategy. We might take a couple extra turns. Our little secret tech here that you may or may not recognize from the commander table is a little bit of intruder alarm action. So, with Zimone and Dina in paper, you can go infinite with her, or them, I guess I should say, an intruder alarm, or some other way to, excuse me, I'm eating my hair, some other way to untap her when a creature comes into play. Anything that generates a creature on landfall. We've got our, Scoot Swarm, we're not using here, but Rampaging Balots, excellent new addition with Springheart and Nantuko. Anything that generates a creature on a landfall and a bounce land. We're not using them here, but we've got enough density of lands that we can pretty reliably keep this going. Even if we don't truly go infinite, we may get 5 or 6 activations out of Zimone and Dina before we want to stop, and that's going to give us a tremendous amount of cards, really cut into our opponent's life total with things like Zulapur Cutthroat, Blood Artist. With either of these cards in play, we can stabilize quite a bit off of our life gain and really just try to go over the top with a ton of value. This deck wants to play Emergent Ultimatum. It really, really, really wants to play Emergent Ultimatum. I've got a version of this deck floating around that really the game plan is just to get to Emergent Ultimatum as quickly as possible, so ramp up to 7 mana, tutor for it on the way, and then flip into like either a Planeswalker plus Vorinclex plus Omniscience, or some other backbreaking combo. It's not bad. It's a good approach to winning. I don't think it's fun. I really, really don't think it's fun. I think the game plan is a little too linear. I think that the results are pretty predictable. I have and each of those cards in isolation is just kind of okay. I would say out of the stack, really Liliana is the one that I'm getting the most value of out of my game plan. But really, if I have a choice between comboing off with an Emergent Ultimatum or comboing off with some ridiculous doppelgang play, I'm gonna want to play the doppelgang. And ultimately, Brawl is, we would hope, a fun first format, so we're gonna try to do just that. Alright, so let's go ahead and lock in, I love my deck names, and jump into the Historic Brawl queue. Your creatures can attack your opponents or their planeswalkers. When you click a creature to attack with it, click the... Okay. Up against Brolar, playing Arabella, Abandoned Doll. I forget precisely what she does. 1/3 artifact creature for Boros with whenever Arabella attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. So this looks like it's going to be a pretty low-to-the-ground Boros beatdown type strategy. There's a lot of support for this, including things like Tajik, PNLR, and all of that goodness. Taking a peek at our hand, I'm feeling fantastic about this pull. We're a little short on mana, no acceleration, but I have 2 things that I think are really working for us. Is we have Abrupt Decay, which is going to be just an excellent way to deal with whatever they flip into first. Based on that, on Arabella's effect, we can probably rely on them not using a ton of very, very expensive creatures. They might be doing stuff with like real fat butts at a higher cost than 3, but it's probably not going to happen. And mana drain is absolutely backbreaking. Given our mana is so slow and sparse in the beginning, we're going to take a little bit of a dare in trying to use it, but let's do the best. Rather this than a 1 land, 1 keep. Yeah, let's play our Capenna land. I'm gonna go for that island because I do want access to that mana drain. If we do fetch and okay, second fetch, we'll take it. We're gonna fake him out here, play a non-blue land, and either go into a watery grave or a breeding pool. That's not worth the mana drain. No, we're not going to drain that. I am going to go ahead and get us our Triumph, though. Yeah, that doesn't intimidate me too much. So here's what we can do. I feel like getting Zimone and Dina onto an empty board doesn't really get us anything. But what we can do here is we can Lotus Cobra into really whatever land we please. I've got no use for the 1 additional mana, so we're going to go ahead and grab a Surveil land here. Get a little bit of card fixing. Oh, great on the top. Love her. Grab that mana here, and we're going to hit Abrupt Decay. Any haste enabler is really, really scary, so we're going to get that out of the way. Although she's just, even with haste, she's just going to fling in for 2, and that's not too worrisome. Alright. Ocelot Pride, great card. They're going to get a kitty token because they got life this turn. That is going to give... Oh, they're probably fishing for the buff off of Kumino. for Arabella next turn. Not the worst, it's just a 2-4. Now, do we have the mana to do what we want? Yes, we do. So we're going to flip this Sylvan Ranger. She's going to go ahead and grab us I'm going to say a swamp here. Drop that in, gimme green, throw out Zimone and Dina. Cool. So we have a decent amount of blocking. Zimone and Dina has a really excellent ability to pad our life total. I've never had her effect be like my primary source of damage, but she pushes and kind of gets us back in. It's really additive with like our Blood Artist type effects. All right, if you control a creature with greater than its power. I don't know what they're fishing for. I have the life total to float a hit. I don't care. All right, Bard. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greater than its base power, create a 1/1 white creature soldier token. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so this is going to make Arabella hit like an absolute truck. We don't like that. Now, I think that we can get up to Swift and mana with Mythweaver Pock. So we're going to throw in this Alchemy-only card. We're going to generate a second fetch land on the play. We're going to get that here. We're going to get this there. So we're going to be real cheeky here. I'm going to go ahead and get our Watery Grave with this. We're going to pay for it. What this is going to let us do, if we grab our Breeding Pool with this Polluted Delta, is going to let us also mana drain. They have such a wide board presence, I really don't want them to be attacking with Arabella on the board. Let's see if she has to attack. She herself has to attack. And we are presenting kind of a wall with this Pock, so I'm not particularly worried here. But we're just going to chill and wait. Because we have this untapped fetch land, we're going to be able to go for 2 lands effectively. By fetching, that's going to give us mana for mana drain without paying too much. Alright, yeah. So this isn't going to give us a ton of mana, but it is going to let us deal with her. So I don't even actually need to shock in a land. Oh yes. I don't even need to shock in a land. I'm just going to get the mana I need for this mana drain from Lotus Cobra. Now, it's not an enormous swing because we're only going to get 2 mana from this, but what it is... Oh, and they're gone. Yeah, they didn't want to deal with that on the board. Mana drain is such a silly card. It is such a silly card. Alright, ooh, thank you for the Pride Mate. I appreciate it. Looks like it's a foundation sprinting. Alright, rack it up and set it up again. Ooh, what do we... Glinkies with Sabsunin, Luxa Embodied. Sabsunin is just kind of a not a Sultai, such a Simic, just value commander. Sabsunin, essentially the bit here is it's kind of a play on the cycles of the Nile River, is they will get a +1/+1 counter on it each turn. If it has an odd number of counters on it, they draw 2 cards. If it has an even number of counters on it, they can attack or block. So this is just a huge amount of value because she is indestructible. She's really hard to interact with. Fortunately, we are sitting on this Terra Sunder, which looks excellent. We could do a little bit of a cheeky combo with Springheart Nantuko and Sylvan Ranger if we're allowed to keep the 2 of them in play for a sufficiently long amount of time, or we can just keep tutoring for lands from our library. You know, I think it's time to get a little music in here. We're gonna throw on some live music brought to us by Chill Hop. Love this guy. There we go. That is much better. Alright. Land Warriors on the play. Yeah, not a ton I can do for that. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw the tap land. I've got a sinking feeling we're going to be super far behind off the beginning. There we go. Ooh, the Oozolith. Ozolith the Shattered Spire. This is going to be kind of a hardened scales with a little bit of an upside. I don't think it's going to be critical enough for us to tear, especially when they don't have access to Sabsuna next turn. So I think we have an opportunity to grab the Sylvan Ranger and go ahead and grab ourselves a Swamp. If they're holding up mana or are really presenting like they're going to interact with Zimone and Dina on my next turn, I'll save my mana myself and either go with the Terra Sunder or try to flip an Uro into just a little bit of acceleration and card draw. Ugh, gosh. Well, I don't have an answer for him, so this could get out of hand kind of fast, but at least I get to get my own commander into play. They're going to drop their own Uro. They probably don't have a land in hand, so they're going to go +2, but it's no worse than if they had a land and just played really nothing. Okay, that looks really good for us. Especially while they don't have mana to interact, I'm going to go ahead and exile Puck on our turn. He goes so, as we saw last game, he just puts so many lands into play that we really don't want to deal with him. Alright, your elves for my ranger? Your elves for my ranger. Oh, both 1/1 elves, they can party. Are you an elf? Yes, you are an elf. Oh, no. Looks like they kept a low number of lands. They just couldn't get there. Oh, that is so unusual in a Simic deck. Like, if you don't have that early gas, you're not going to get far. Alright, next up. Historic Brawl definitely going well for us. Or maybe just Brawl? I'm not sure. I would call it Commander, but it is absolutely a different ethos of a format. You can automatically apply card sleeves to your new decks by choosing one of the sleeves to be your default. Yeah, I've got my little, I think it's an anniversary, or it might have been a beta player card back. I've been playing Arena since launch, on and off. Took a couple years off a little while ago, but it is, it's good to be back, TM, and the TM is Alchemy. No acceleration, kind of a flat mana base. We're gonna see what we get. I don't hate this. I don't hate this. Who are we playing against? Oh, Ace-Rarak? Ace-Rarak? Hardcore D&D fans can correct me, the Arc Lich. So he's going to be doing a lot of bouncing in and out of the hand to try to run through one of these dungeons as quickly as possible. Generally, they're going to want to get to this Mad Wizard's Lair as quickly as they can. They're going to try to make it a little bit easier with cost-reducing effects, things that are going to make their black cards cheaper. So I think we're actually good to keep this. They're going to really want to play him on curve, so I'm going to drop this Triome on turn 1 and see if we can nail him with a cheeky disruption. Ugh. Kiss our counterspell, goodbye. Although we do have a lot of options. This Damnation doesn't do anything for us. If they rip the Wari Disruption, I'm assuming it's Wari Disruption, we're going to play the Cobra next turn, and vice versa. If they rip the Cobra, we're going to just hang on that Disruption. They did not want us to have that Lotus Cobra. Good play. Those get out of control really fast. And we're going to pass it up. Yeah, we can stuff their commander if they play it. If they don't, we have a Growth Spiral. Okay, let's go +1. Breeding Pool, Growth Spiral into Undercity Sewers. Now, I'm not going to play Zimone and Dina. Oh, excellent. I'm not going to play Zimone and Dina here because they are presenting so much black mana that they're going to die in the play. I'd rather not, especially when I have some premium interaction in my hand. Now, hopefully, they know about the Wari Disruption, so hopefully they play such that they don't know I have Counterspell. Because if I can disrupt their kind of initial bounce, loop, shenanigans nonsense, like, I really just want to throw them off their tempo for the first couple of turns. If I can keep them from really getting established and developing value, then we'll be in really good shape. Get some iced barley tea, it's very nice. Definitely feeling like the first week of spring here. Alright, Mana Ramp, Bulbous Avatar, take your time. Aw, don't like a little control, my friends. Please. This format is a little bit infamous for people just hopping out whenever things aren't going immediately their way, so who knows, this player might have dropped their phone, closed the browser, or might not want to sit here playing this game into, I'll say 4 open blue mana. Cute avatar, though. I thought a little tree folk, little tiny tree beard would be appropriate for a landfall deck. No, nothing. Okay, they might actually be AFK. Well, given that opening, let's surveil. Bajuka Bog. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna play it. Especially against a mono black deck, we could have held on to that, but I'd rather get a doubled landfall trigger somewhere down the line from this Maestro's Theater. They didn't drop a land last turn. I have a sinking suspicion they're not even here anymore. Boaz. Look at the little potato. I know you're there, Boaz. Come back to play with me. All right, they woke up. Nah. Oh, if we had an untapped land. Oh, if only. So they do have the mana to overcome Wari Disruption this turn. So that's not going to count for much. But importantly, they did tap down for that Celestis. They might have been hoping to leave the 2 mana open, the one from the Celestis itself and their spare swamp. Yep, that's fine. She wasn't even doing much for me. Give me something for 3. That's fine. All right, let's go positive a ton of mana. So here we go. We're gonna slap that down, and it's prime time, baby. Such a crunchy card to have in Arena. So I'm gonna want Lockwave to use to keep my mana advantage up. Aside, as far as other lands or other utility lands go, I think I'm just gonna grab a Surveil land and fix my draw for next turn. Another land is fine, especially an untapped land. Did I not play a proper land drop? Okay. Now, I don't mind loading up on a ton of mana because we are looking for a cheeky doppelgang soon. Let's see. Yep, you're going to interact with Prime Time. That's fine. I did his job. So going in next turn, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. 11 minus 2 is 9, divided by 3 is 3. So we can go plus 3 on this. Yeah, they're not going to interact here, and this could give us some interesting advantage. So let's go 1, 2, 3. I want, is Castle Lockwave legendary? It's not. That's going to give us the option for a ton of ramp 1. You're going to give us straw. And what else? Let's grab a Surveil land. Now, it's not going to fizzle the spell if they eat the star. I don't think it'll fizzle the spell. Having just a butt ton of mana and a Castle Lockwave isn't bad. So my favorite kind of like cheeky Castle Lockwave deck with Zimone and Dina is if you draw with the Castle Lockwave on an empty hand, you'll lose 1 life. But if you have Zimone and Dina in play, and you're doing it as your second card on the turn, you'll drain 2 from their ability. So you'll actually net 1 life. So with 1 or 2 cards in hand, oh, they let me have stars. Okay, I guess they didn't want it. Oh, Villainous Wealth with all of that mana on the board. That is looking tasty. I am excited to play their deck. Mana cap on this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we can, if we dump everything we've got into it, we're going to hit this for 14. So go through the top 14 cards of our opponent's library, cast everything with mana value 14 or less. That is a big deal. We don't have the mana to actually castle this turn. If we had copied an untapped land instead, we could have. But I wasn't hoping to get, you know, a good finisher, a good payoff on top. Aw, text from my family. That's sweet. Yeah, we're still playing slow. This is somebody who might have their hands full. I don't know. Who knows? This is it's a very comfortable game for folks who only have a couple of minutes to play. So when I see a player like this, I don't know if this is somebody like making some dinner for their family or taking care of a child or a loved one. So having a little bit of grace there always kind of keeps me calm when my opponent's running the rope. All right, it is extremely unlikely that a black player is going to have interaction for this card. So let's give them everything we got, go as deep in their deck as we can. I have had some very rare circumstances where I've been able to exile the remainder of my opponent's deck off of Villainous Wealth. Much easier to do in paper EDH than it is here in Brawl, but there are routes, especially in Sultai. You can sometimes just stumble into ways to have infinite mana accidentally. Spring Tart Nantuko is a huge activator for that. Just having a repeatable clone is massive. Having 3 or 4 Tireless Trackers or Lotus Cobras lends to having unbelievable amounts of mana very easily. You're not wrong, especially listen. They're not involved, but you're telling me. And our opponent does not want to see through a 14 card. I think it was a fine match. Does not want to see through a 14 card Villainous Wealth. I can't blame them. Listen, I am so pleased to see all of these, like, dual hero cards. What do we get? Little experience. A Micromancer. Ooh. Oh, it's just a slightly different statted Trinket Mage. That's cute. Yeah. Listen, with these dual hero cards, I am waiting for a Chandra and Nisa card so bad. Juantiller, Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh. This is gonna be an extremely unpleasant match. This is gonna be a crunchy, controlling deck. This deck is going to be nothing but point removal, counterspells, and board sweeps. It's gonna make me mad. I'm gonna get frustrated. Hopefully, all of our hopes and dreams lie with this Kami of Bamboo Groves to get ahead of it. We are going to see a Shotgun into Blood Crypt. Turn 1 Ragavan. Turn 1 Ragavan. Well, I hate to tell you, I've got a turn 1 blocker. Now, the particular composition on our lands isn't great here, especially because of this foreboding landscape. Upside is it can be used for mana on the turn it's played. Sure thing. Downside is it's quite slow. So we're going to try to put black mana on top. Magic, you know, you got to trust in the heart of the card sometimes. So they might use a burn spell to get this Kami out of the way and get their monkey to connect. Nope, they're just gonna mess with that land we put there. Not gonna attack with the monkey. Hey, with monkeys, people say we monkey around. Okay, so I can't get black mana, but what I can do is I can put this foreboding landscape onto the battlefield untapped with Uro. Yeah. All right, four lands on turn 2. That's not bad. Keeping the monkey at bay. They're using the burn spell to get their monkey in. Oh. Meat Hook's not going to do a huge amount for us. I mean, I can Meat Hook for one and kill the monkey, but... Okay, get a treasure, get a card. There are variants of Bolus decks. Oh, they got our Splunking! Rude! I don't think we have enough cards in the yard. Yeah, we don't have quite enough cards in the yard to pull Uro, so I am going to go ahead and grab this swamp. Bop. We're gonna throw a bop. We're gonna throw Zimone and Dina. And we're gonna chill. Missed a land drop there, but we're far enough ahead on lands that I don't particularly mind. They've got a lot of mana to play with. This, yeah. Rude. Unbelievably rude. Sure, we'll take an explore. There's that. I hate to do it. I gotta blow up my own Zimone and Dina to get in. Take your artifact, take my Zimone and Dina. I'm gonna knock you out of your red mana. Where's the 1 mana counterspell? Nothing! Okay. I'm feeling a little bit more even about this playing field after that. Now we do have enough cards in the yard to escape Uro. With so little mana, they're gonna have 4 after connecting with the monkey, maybe 5 if they got a land in hand this turn. Aw, cute. What's today's challenge in Stardew? Aw, they're gonna get the bird. We can put up Zimone and Dina, or we can... They're gonna rip our hand anyway. Yeah, they're going to rip our hand anyway. I want a little bit of immediate impact, so we're going to go ahead and drop everything from the yard that isn't that Time Warp. Oh, we have 2. Yeah, we'll take, you know what, I'll leave the casualties in. We do have a handful of ways to recur with things like Eternal Witness. Oh, nice. It's something. Yeah, they're going to grab that Wash Away. I guarantee it. Another absolutely silly card for Brawl. Yep. Terra Sunder still hits Bolus. They're going to get removal on the turn he's played. My Tireless Provisioner. Cruel. Yeah, that's going to flush our yard. Actually, it's probably... I'd forgotten this is the last chapter of Elspeth's Nightmare as it flushes the yard. So if they're not looking to remove Uro this turn, then we're going to get a little bit of extra punch. I'm going to get her into play to have her in play. No interaction. We're going to throw an attack with Uro, get a draw, get a land. That activates Zimone and Dina. Chomping with the monkey. They're televising a board wipe. Or they've just felt that they can't connect anymore. Oh, welcome! Hi! Oh, joining us from Italy. So nice. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining. Yeah, it's fairly late here in the States. I'm not even sure what time of it is in Europe right now. All right, Bolus dropping in. Let's see. Probably gonna laser, probably laser my Uro. Or they're just gonna go for the free rip. The only thing, yep, they're gonna laser Uro. Called it. Well, back to the yard. That's not the last we're gonna see of him. 3 mana available? Really? Aw. No, I'm from the Northeast. Northeast in the States. We're in the kind of New York, New Jersey area. All right, I honestly didn't expect to cinch that. Maybe they didn't want to play the grindy game. Maybe they had dinner, who knows? I don't think, especially with Bolus on board, I don't think that there was a clearly, like, decided winner at that point. On to the next game. Big Fancy Ben the Brilliant with Saint Elenda. I feel intimidated. So Saint Elenda is an alchemy card. She does two things. When she enters the battlefield, she gives access to one of these 5 cards. They have some decent utility applications here. It allows the user to cast it for free. She also, when you gain, if you gain life on your turn, you create a big avatar on your end step. So she's a really, really solid payoff for, oh, my brain is mush. She's a really solid payoff for, like, big life gain decks. I'm a little bit curious to see her in the command zone for... I've seen her a lot in Historic as a good payoff for Sorin. Sorin's -3 to put a vampire onto the battlefield. And there she's great, just cheating her ability out. Okay, we're gonna curse us. That's fine. We've got a little bit of a slower start as it is. So with a land in hand, I think we're still gonna Elvish Mystic. Yeah, land on top, MDFC on top. I think we're still gonna Elvish Mystic here. So we're a little bit behind because our land base is so slow, but that's okay. I'm not particularly worried about Curse of Silence because we can ramp past them, and they're not really making any huge moves. So I think, do we have the mana to do both? Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna take the Bolt for Fellmire, drop this, or try to drop this Topiary Somper. I have Mana Tithe mana. I have Mana Tithe mana. Alright, what do we want? We actually have really good color availability right now. I'm gonna grab, you know what, maybe I should have grabbed an island, considering we have this forest in hand. But here we go. We're gonna go for the Arboreal Grazer. Okay, we're gonna cycle. I was really waiting for our 1-drop to get Mana Tithe. I would have been so frustrated. There we go. Okay, 5 mana, 6 mana available on turn 3. We can do that. All right, yeah, it's just gonna be, ooh, we tap that stupid. Although they don't have mana for Elenda on this turn anyway. So auto-tapper locked us out of a wash away. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna bluff having like a snakeskin veil. Honey, I have the mana. I have the mana. Let's go grab a swamp. Okay. I mean, that holds us up from being able to use her ability, and we have quite a bit of sacrifice fodder on the field. Second verse, same as the first. Here now we have that blue open. We have blue, we have green, black open too. If they drop a utility creature or utility artifact. Is this just Elenda and a whole pile of removal spells? Okay. Well, we're gonna go grab a land off of Sylvan Ranger, I guess. Let's get an island. Sure, we'll play that for the turn. Now we got Watchway mana that turns on our Topiary Stomper. Like, I think it's cute to have a couple of combos in here that play well with Zimone and Dina, but especially in Brawl, especially in a one-on-one format, you need your deck to operate independent of your commander. So all they're really showing us is a pile of removal. I would expect a sweeper here. Nothing? Nothing? Okay. They're still short of Elenda. They're showing 5, 6 next turn, and they need 7 for her. I could have swung in with the Ranger. Take our grass dinosaur. Okay, here we're going to actually think about how we're tapping. Yeah. That's going to leave us with Abrupt Decay mana, even in the event of a board wipe. Honestly, a Farewell doesn't even hurt us too badly. Our yard is empty. We have no other utility things in play. Yeah, that's about what I expected. That's fine. It's just a 5-5. We can deal with a 5-5. Now they've got Elenda mana. Am I gonna hold here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna hold. There was a part of me that wanted to drop Zimone and Dina again. There you go. Listen, I can always break it down more slowly if you're interested. If anything, I hope it's just a good background chatter. Yeah, it is. With these two, it's very gay poker. I would love to have a utility hand here, like a Castle Lochwain. Aw, that's super relaxing. Okay, yeah, they could have played a Lenda here. So I'm not seeing them show anything that's too valuable in the 3 mana value or lower slot. So we're gonna go ahead and just fry the token. I'm gonna pick it back up with Timeless Witness. I'm just giving myself something to do. Aw, good. You know what's a great thing to do to pass the time? Dropping an Uro on an open board and seeing what we get. They could exile it here. We love that. Yeah, we're really just gonna try our best to grind value. Yeah, let's shake them a little bit. Although I've got a very sneaky suspicion that their game plan has nothing to do with Saint Elenda themselves, and this is just a pile of removal. So we're going to guarantee our land drop next turn with Timeless Witness. I mean, one of my favorite plays is to get some kind of cloning... Oh, wait, we can drop this turn. Getting some kind of cloning effect on a Timeless Witness, either like a Doppelgang or Springheart Nantuko, and just repeatedly picking up the same Doppelgang. Oh, okay, we're wandering. We're wandering. We got the Wandering Emperor. All right, she's probably just looking for value off of the -1. Yep, good to make a token. Yeah, that would have messed up our Zimone and Dina nasty. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. That's fine. Timeless Witness is a little bit disposable. Oh, no! You get it all figured out? And welcome! Hi, thanks for coming on! Yeah, this is the moment we've been waiting for. We've had this wash away since turn 1, loves. Yeah, no big vampire lady today. I think we can also take care of this Wandering Emperor. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to be a little greedy here. I'm going to grab the Shockland, and we are going to... It's a 1 toughness Planeswalker, so it's not the biggest deal. How's our yard looking? Still a little thin for Uro. Oh, but also that is a Catacombs. I think that there's no need to rush out ahead. Oh, thank goodness. No need to rush everything out. We're going to go ahead and grab this Eternalized Timeless Witness. I'm going to pull this Wash Away into my hand. Oh, I know there is a part of me in my heart that knows I've got to start doing pre-recorded content soon, and that terrifies me, losing all of that. I'm so glad you were able to save it. They're just looking for the card draw. They're just using it as a clue. It's an expensive clue. Why? What are you doing? How are you trying to trick me? Okay. Alright. Zimone and Dina with Counterspell mana open. Let's do it. This is just such a weird ambling game. I've got a pretty significant mana advantage, but there's not much else. Any games of mine for pre-recorded stuff? Probably long plays, some of the base building games I've been doing. I'd love to do either an Oni... No, get out of here. Get that out of here. Yeah, maybe Oni stuff. Also arts and crafts, definitely. Some of the projects that I do, like the armor making or some of the metalworking, I'm in the process of figuring out how to stream those, but definitely doing some long form content for those too would be nice. Get on YouTube. Oh, all right, we're sweeping. We're sweeping. Fine, you don't want the bird. You don't want the bird. Blind Obedience. Creatures enter the battlefield tapped. That's fine. We're gonna play... I swear, she's value for 11 mana. I mean, if anything, I'm pulling removal out of their hand, which is definitely a thing. Yeah, I am led to believe that this deck is just a mountain of removal. Honey, I know, you know I have this. Okay. Yep, they're giving the drain for Extort. Yeah, no more of your removal. No more. No more. I don't care the boots are tapped. Zimone and Dina's not tapped. Alright, we're going to drop this Rider into play. Yes, we have Memory Lapse mana even after escaping Uro. Exactly enough cards in the yard. That's going to pad out our mana a little bit. Thank you. Zimone and Dina is going to give us even more life because that was our second draw. And we're going to pass it up. Each player sacrifices that many creatures of their choice. Maybe next turn. Maybe next turn. Not this turn. They've got 4 up. They could have another. They could have another wipe. 4 mana classic Wrath of God. Destroy target permanents. Its controller creates a token. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll destroy my permanent. Get 2 draws. No, I'm not sure if I still get the token here. I believe so. I'm going to pop that land just to do it. Nope, I don't get the token. Solemn. Now, they are going to draw into that... is this an edict? Yeah, it's actually an edict. That's interesting. So I'm going to hold onto this Ophiomancer. Just get in with Rider, get a little bit of life. Yeah, there it is. They're gonna drain us with the Extort. I'm gonna eat my robot. When this creature dies, I may draw a card. I absolutely want to. Through the top third of my deck. There we go. Yes, I'll put this land into play. There's a Kami. That's cool. We're probably gonna just channel that instead. 13. All of them. Maximum number of creatures. Vaporize Zimone and Dina with maximum prejudice. What are you going to play? Eventually I'm going to have to deal with this Alenda, but... Alright, we're going to channel Kami. That's going to give us... We don't really need to get the extra land into play, especially this late into the game, but we would love a couple of forests in hand. Especially getting that into the yard is going to give us more fodder for Uro. Yeah, we'll take a Surveil. We are running out of fetchables. Nisa gives us cards, and cards are good. So let's see if they have removal for her before we get the boots on. They might just have another board wipe. Surprisingly not. Okay, let's drop one of these forests. She is going to give us a landfall trigger, giving us green mana. We're going to take that and we're going to enchant that same forest with a Utopia Sprawl. Our mana's looking pretty diverse, but I'm going to go ahead and grab black here. I could throw Zimone and Dina at the board again. We have a fetch land. We can get her to... We can trigger her second time, giving us an elemental or an elf. This is probably going to give us a utility creature, but it could also give us something fancy. Yeah, I'll leave that on top. It's not going to matter. We're about to reveal and shuffle. Another green. Helena War Elves. I was really hoping for the... Gosh, I forget its name. The 2/1 elf destroys an artifact or enchantment on the play. So if they're going to keep bullying us with so much removal, we're going to thank them in kind with just casting Uro every chance we get. Every time we get to escape Uro. And Uro is such a powerful Simic commander in his own right. If we cast Uro every chance we get, there's a counterspell. We've got a little bit of protection. Nisa's going to give us mana. I'm not going to use it. I kind of don't want to go wide because I'm just expecting our opponent to dissolve us. But yeah, Uro is just going to keep our life total padded. It's going to keep generating advantage. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I think this deck, I think Big Fancy Ben is playing just a stack of sweepers. That's enough. That's enough. We're presenting lethal. It looks like they don't have any options. There's the game. Assemble the Titans. Assemble the Titans. I love these two little achievements. I'm such a sucker for freebies. Let's see what that one gave us. Assemble the Titans was... Cast 9 or more legendary spells over the course of a single game. Yeah, that feels about right for Brawl. I didn't know if it was specific because we had done that with a couple of Titans themselves. We had Primetime, we had Uro. All right, back into the queue. I think have we won them all this evening? Maybe. I think it's a good night. I know matchmaking was a little bit shaky in Brawl for a minute. Like, essentially, card deck, like, power-based queuing was pretty badly messed up. So we were getting some wildly inappropriate, pairings. It seems to have been fixed. Ostensibly, everything we've played today, Vivian, Arcbow, Ranger. I believe a Planeswalker that puts... Oh, juicy. Vivian, Arcbow, Ranger, yep, does 1/1 counters. Has, not even a fight. It has a bite on the minus and a tutor on the -5. So I'm really, really expecting kind of a +1/+1 strategy. On one hand, we're showing mana drain. On the other hand, our lands are slow as dirt. So I think we'll try it. So I think that we'll open on a foreboding landscape into an island. We're going to probably be playing a relatively slow and defensive game. Because there's the other part of me that really wants to get this Lotus Cobra moving. But Mana Drain is such a demoralizing hit. Fel the Profane can also hit Vivian. I don't think it's going to matter in either case, because I think our play in the beginning is still Foreboding Landscape into an island. That still sets us up to do either or. Although if we Foreboding Landscape into a forest, or if we Riveteer's Overlook into a forest, we can reliably have 2 mana available on turn 2 for Lotus Cobra. That feels more responsible, because then we can get Tireless Provisioner out with even more upside. Yeah, let's get green. We're gonna do it. So we might not be able to answer Vivian on the turn she's played, but we'll see. We're also giving up Fel the Profane for this plan. Nothing on 2 green. Oh, and we have not Lotus Cobra here with Nissa. This is going to be a very explosive turn if we're able to pull off what we want to pull off. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything with this on green. Their plan is probably going to be to get some power onto the board and get ready for a bite next turn. Yeah, Augur of Autumn. That makes a lot of sense. So what we're going to do here is really cheeky. We're going to get the mana we need off of the Lotus Cobra, and we're going to drop Nissa. Because we're showing a fetch land, we actually have functionally 2 Lotus Cobras in the play. We have access to the 2 blue mana we need to mana drain. So now, hopefully, they kind of have to make a choice between removal and playing their commander. If they just flop her, up, we're going. All right, babe. We're going to round out our mana base here a little bit. I'm going to shock it in. There's, they didn't really do anything. Let's say if they stick. Getting a mana drain for 4 is big. Yep, that's it. This card is ridiculous. This card is absolutely ridiculous. This card should not be in Brawl. This card should be played in Commander with quite a bit of trepidation. It's just a crushing tempo swing. I'm using it because it's here. But, like, this card should not be in this format, especially like that. You can't play anything with any meaningful amount of mana with, like, into... A counterspell for 2 is standard, right? Counterspell, OG counterspell, blue-blue counter-target spell is fantastic. Mana Drain was designed for a different era of the game. It is a way too pushed instant card. And it's warping. It's absolutely crushing. It's like you'll see a lot. I don't feel great about what just happened. You'll see a lot of games that just get decided by an opportune mana drain. And like our whole strategy that game was to see what we can get away with a mana drain in hand. Like if you draw into a mana drain, that's what the game is all about. And I don't love that. I don't love that for the format. Historic Brawl is classically subject to some card tuning issues, but it's a casual format. What are we gonna do? Oxido Mask. Oh, hi. Hi. No acceleration. I don't love the interaction. So, Vadrik, Astral Archmage, is a 1/2 human wizard for 3 for 1 and Izzet. They trigger Day-Night. They get a discount on their instant sorceries where it equal to Vadrik's power, and when the Day-Night cycle flips, he gets a 1/1 counter. So this is going to be kind of an Is It Spellslinger deck with like a sub-theme, a little bit of Day-Night. I do want to either get myself established faster than them or to have some aggressive removal. We don't have either here, so I'll take it. We can do this. We can do this. So we're running into a little bit of danger with our colors, but at the very least we can turn to Tireless Provisioner, which is fine. So let's go ahead and Prismatic Vista into this Arboreal Grazer. It's a little extremely peculiar sloth. Sloth Beast. Those are two different type lines. Oh, okay. They did not want to play against Fast Acceleration. I can't blame them. But yeah, it looks so disoriented. Like, what are you? I think this is from War of the Spark. It's like, what are you doing on Ravnica? We fight to stop a tyrant, but we also fight for the gentle creatures who have no concept of what befalls their world. Oh my god, this is literally Vivian saying this thing. This creature has no thoughts. There's nothing. God, embrace sloth life. Good for you. Yeah, our opponent, it looks like they didn't want to deal with being 1 mana down. Alright, more experience. Frontier Seeker from Outlaws at Thunder Junction. 2-1 for 1 and white. When this creature enters like the top 5 cards of your library, you may reveal a mount creature card or a plains card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. You know, that wouldn't have... This is almost playable, maybe. A 2-1 for 2 that nabs a land on the play. Definitely, probably good and limited. That was a goofy set. I think, like, thematically, it suffered from some issues. Yes, oh my god. Just the sound of Russ like, hey, look! Oh, thanks, C-Team. You called them back. They came to play again. Oh, this is a great start. Forest, Sloth. Island, pass. We're up against... Oh, Caradora. Caradora is such a cool creature. She is a 4/2 Human Knight for 2 and Celestia. When Caradora enters, you may search your library for a mount or vehicle card, reveal it, put into your hand, then shuffle. If one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature or vehicle you control, that many +1/1/1 counters are put on it instead. Oh yes, exactly. So Caradora is so cool. Especially with Caradora in the command zone, you can essentially play your deck as a toolbox and play a ton of utility creatures. Like, you could play utility. There's so many, like, after the couple of expansions we've gotten, or the couple sets we've gotten that are mountain vehicle-centric. I would try my best to make a dial tone sound, but it's not going to happen. But yeah, with Caradora, you can really... Okay, I've been declared in stone. All right. But yeah, with Caradora, you can load your deck up with all sorts of vehicles that do things, vehicles that mount, vehicles that crew other vehicles, and have access to some really, really cool options. So I think the play here is we're going to go ahead and drop a Surveil land. Oh, Blood Artist is great, but not right now. And we're just going to pass it up. With any fortune, we can use this clue to maintain momentum. Whenever a land you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. It gains flying until the end of turn. Okay, they are really playing this more of a, like, hardened scales +1/+1. Oh, baby! Oh, what a sweetie. We have Reach, which is going to help us for a turn. Let's draw. Thank you for your draw. Thank you for your generous contribution. So the hope here is to just get a land. I don't actually feel dread... Oh, we're gonna get silenced. We're getting silenced. We're getting Ogrim's chanted. Yep, Ogrim's chanted. Yep, we're getting chanted. That's fine. I didn't want to play my commander anyway. We couldn't have. We didn't have the untapped mana for it. Oh, baby. Oatmeal, our foster, has one too. It was like one of 2 possessions her mom brought her up with from Texas, and it's this adorable blanket. Oop, I think I lost my music. Oop. There we go. There we go. Much better. Now we're not gonna chump that. I want the body. Aw, yeah. Sorry, you're going to the top of the library, my friend. Do they have a flare? They might have a Solitude in hand. So here's what I'm thinking. They kept priority there. It might have been to see where they wanted to put their commander. So what I think we're going to... But I'm not going to dismiss the possibility of them having some free interaction. So I'm actually going to go ahead and grab my boots. I'm going to give them some choices. So I'm going to go ahead and slap the Sylvan Ranger with the Springheart and Antuco. So they can hold removal for Zimone and Dina, or they can take care of the Ranger. They can't really do both. Oh, Yasharn. This interferes with our ability to play our deck. We can't sacrifice things. We might be able to still accrue a good amount of value on landfalls with Sylvan Ranger. Yeah, they got their pissed off bird. Look at that thing, it's so mad. Ah. I also feel that bird deeply. Okay. Yeah, we can't actually use Zimone and Dina's ability with Yasharn on the board. That might shut us out of this game. We have to get Yasharn out of here. That fledgling is getting up there. Ooh. Myrel, Shield of Argive. During your turn, opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. And whenever she attacks, create X 1/1 colorless soldier creature artifact tokens, where X is the number of soldiers I control. We're also swinging with Yasharn. Yeah, we're just going to take it. We're going to take it. This is putting us at a kind of a dangerous life total. We'll see if we can dig ourselves out. Undergrowth Recon is a great card, but it's not what we're looking for. We might be in trouble. Yeah, Reclamation Sage. Rec Sage. That's what I was looking for before. I'm just getting cards into play, but this might be it. We might have to do some chumping. We are just not hitting the removal we need. Apparently, just Celestia good stuff is going to get us there. Now, we'd be drawn out of our problems if this Yasharn wasn't here. Great play. Great colors for stacks. Great colors for forcing your opponent to play the game fair. I have been flirting on and off with building a paper Maverick deck for Modern. Yeah, they're just pushing in. You know what? I think we're ready. I'm ready for the next one. I'm gonna let them take it. Here's the good game. Yeah, tempo was just not in our favor there. I get so insulted when I see that Orm's chant. I don't typically play games with decks that are solely reliant on playing on my main, so I don't feel it as badly, but still, it's almost insulting. But I say that being the chick who will surgical extraction on somebody's draw, right after somebody's draw. Oh, Hippogriff or Petalgriff Avatar playing Flubs the Fool. Flubs the Fool. Oh, I hate this hand. Flubs the Fool is an interesting commander. Flubs the Fool is an 0/5 for teamer with you can play an additional land on each of your turns. But importantly, whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card if you have no cards in hand. Otherwise, discard a card. This is an idiotically high amount of value, as long as you're comfortable playing with an empty hand. Also love the Fool art here. Love the classic tarot. We did not spend nearly enough time in Bloomhaven. I think I'm gonna go to 6 to look for some acceleration. Look to 5 going for some acceleration. We're gonna stop. We're hurting ourselves here. I think we'll hold on to excuse me, the ramp, the removal. And yeah, we did not get at it. The shuffler was not our friend this game. We were going too hot on the draw. They had to slow us down. Someone at WotC had to hit the big button. This chick can't be stopped. Alright. I think you're cool also, playing your Shockland tapped on turn 1. I get it. Yeah, hoping we pull a land in the next 2 turns, because I would love to Z&D into Solemn into Tatiova. Hangerback Walker. It's like a 1/1... Yeah, 1/1 matters kind of card. There's a lot of, I'll say, fairly degenerate combos that this card can get into, but yeah, it doesn't have any real specific function in this deck other than just being kind of generically good. There's Flubs. They're probably looking for the additional land drop. Yeah, although this is going to burn up their hand. They're really going for it. Okay, so they're net 0. They pick the card, draw a card. I think they're really looking to get more value off of flubs and future turns. Unfortunately, that is not our game plan for today. So we're going to feed flubs to the Ravenous Chupacabra. Love any creatures with enter the battlefield value in this deck, and really any Aristocrats deck, because we're still going to get that card draw. So I'm feeling pretty good about that, is getting flubs off the board. They may replay him to get access to that. Or Oracle of Moldiah, another way to get additional land drops. Oracle of Moldiah is going to let them play lands from the top of their deck, and is going to give them an extra land drop each turn. Demon Bolt. Alright. Well, Foretelling is cool here, because it lets them have access to the cards without them technically being in their hand. We're going to eat the Chupacabra. I want one more land. One more, so we can play Tatiova and get value off of her. Now, they are presenting red, so she might get bolted, but even if she just gets replaced, I'm okay with that. Feasting Eyes. Hungry Eyes. Ooh, oh yes, with two fetch lands in hand. We're going to get a really handsome number of landfall triggers. All right. Wait, we've got to actually crack this thing first. This command tower is doing a lot of lifting for us. I'm going to go ahead and grab a Swamp. We're going to throw Tatiova into play. Let's get some card draw, baby. Waiting for the bolt. There, we get a Drain. That's fun. I'm not particularly curious to, I mean, I'm not counting on a 1-drop here, but we're gonna see it. We're gonna see what we can pull. I'll take the shock. Tatiova's gonna give us that life back anyway. Nah, nothing we're gonna be able to get value out of from 1 mana, but going +2 cards, +2 life, and yeah, +2 cards, +2 life, and getting an unanswered Tatiova into play is a big deal. Tatiova, 3/3, Merfolk Druid for 3, and Simic with whenever a land you control enters, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Ornithopter. That is just a quick draw if they had flubs in hand, or flubs on the board. Astral Cornucopia, they can always play this for X = 0 to drop a card from their hand. Yeah, they really look like they want to investigate, yeah. Adventure card, similarly to Foretell, is it gives them access to a card without really having a card. Tormund's Crypt, yep. They're going to play these eggs. They've got eggs. So we've got the 0, I guess, kind of looks like an egg. But yeah, they're going to play these 0-cost spells. So they could play the Cornucopia. It does nothing, but it's going to get them a card. They stop on the Druid class, another way to pay off from... Oh, right, they have it from Oracle of Moldiah. But they had a card in hand, so they ended up dropping it. Well, they've got the value engine running, but like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So can we. I would really like to draw into a way to deal with flubs this turn. If we can keep them sputtering on very little mana, there's the Sloth! MVP this game. So I'm going to fish for another draw, probably get a basic off this. Yeah, because I want untapped land. I'm going to do everything I can to try to draw into something to delete flubs. If we could just keep him off the board, then they're not going to get the value that they want. A board wipe here actually wouldn't be dreadful, considering a lot of our opponent's value is in their creatures. They'll get some Thropters. Topiary Stomper, that's fine. We're going to evoke a Muldrifter. I put a stop in here because we can sacrifice Muldrifter with its evoke ability on the stack. Great tech for any Aristocrats deck. You can do this with all of the Titans as well. Cool. Oh, it's a Villainous Wealth. That's neat, but that's not what we need. Do we have the threshold for land mana yet? Mana yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We will once we play 1. Alright, we are going to get a very significant amount of card draw here. That's an answer for flubs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Tatiova's going to pick us up 2 cards. Love it. There's a sweep as well. Oh, we can just Abrupt Decay. But if we Binding, we're going to get another land drop next turn. And I think for card drop, I'm going to draw the Bloodghast, because Bloodghast is going to be back. Oh, that's amazing! Listen, even watching Vanilla Stardew over my partner's shoulder, I'm like, there's There's something going on here. There's something going on here. There we go. We're gonna ping. We're gonna get flubs out of here. I'm not attacking with Tatiova. And we're going to... Yep, keep just saving up on that hanger back. And we're gonna drop Bloodghast. Bloodghast is gonna come back to the battlefield with its landfall anyway. This is a great sacrifice target for Zimone and Dina. And, like, classic, right? Bloodghast is used in so many of these, like, kind of crunchy, kind of maybe they're not the most fun, like, landfall combos, but yes, Bloodghast plus Intruder Alarm or Bloodghast, any way to untap my commander on the play. Oh, I see you two are also a Springheart and Tuco Enjoyer. Good for you. I'm still gonna play half your deck next turn. 1, 2, 3. Actually, let's see how big we get. Yeah, they're not dissimilar in the way they're going about things. They are still a landfall, do a bunch of stuff deck. So here we're going to get a land, get a Bloodghast back, get a draw off of Tatiova that's always going to be tapped from Binding the Old Gods, so it really doesn't matter if we get our Triome. How cheeky! No Bloodghast! They're going to flush our yard to get rid of the Bloodghast. How rude! What do they have on top? Oh, Beacon. I want that Oracle. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, the turns aren't off the Nantuko. I don't think it lets us get the copy, but we're about to find out. Yeah, I didn't think so. We don't control the Springheart and Tuco, so we don't get its ability. Oh, we are just lousy with cards. Thank you, thank you, Tatiova. Alright, we're gonna get our favorite Dial Tone Sloth into play. I'm gonna fry their Oracle clone. I think that we're going to leave 2 mana up for flubs. I'm not going to attack. And I think that ends us on 7. Yep, there we go. If you would draw a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library instead. You may play those cards this turn. That's fun tech. That's fun tech for this. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we attacking with? You're gonna attack with the Storm Drake? Oh no, my 36 life, my donated Drake. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go ahead and... Oh, you know what? Our Arboreal Grazer is a champ. They can hang out for another turn before we eat them unceremoniously. So I am gonna go ahead and eat the Solemn Simulacrum. Simulacrum? I'll take the draw there. I'll take the draw from Zimone and Dina. Oh, that's a doppelgang. Okay, y'all. This is about to get very silly. This is about to get extraordinarily silly. So I think that we're gonna hit this Aerith. That's a lot of card advantage. They're gonna want their hand to be empty anyway. This is gonna keep their hand empty. So I'd like to get that off the board. I'm not gonna doppelgang yet. There's a world where we doppelgang all of our lands and draw our entire deck. I'm actually gonna pop this Seagate first because that's gonna give us a crazy amount of card advantage. They have no hands, so they have no interaction. I wish we could doppelgang this Binding though. It's in the yard though. So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to bolt in Fell the Profane, which is going to give us a card. Seagate Restoration is going to double the number of our cards in hand and eliminate the cap on our hand size. So if we go really, really deep and just pick up as many cards as we can with Tatiova, then we're going to just grab a ton of stuff. We're going to have a ton of stuff here. So let's go ahead and hit this Scalding Tarn. Get whatever land at this point. Yeah, Breeding Pool. Let's go ahead. Because we're going to have a pretty respectable amount of mana left over after we hit this. Yeah, Seagate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're going. 23 cards in hand. There are more. Yeah, we are halfway through our deck now, babes. All right, what do we do? What do we even do? We have a serious risk of drawing out to Tatiova. I'm gonna play Undergrowth Recon. That's gonna get us lands out of our yard. Now we do have this Mana Drain in hand. They've seen all of our cards because Oracle is revealing them. So what I think we're gonna do is we're just gonna get this Mystic into play. Get us access to a little bit of mana, maybe a Sacrifice Tool. Do we have the mana that we want for Nisa? No, but we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna let them have fun. Nah, I'm not going to attack him with an Oracle. She's got Death Touch, so it gives us space to do, well, stuff. I guess this is just something to do. It's going to give them a lot of Thropters when it goes, but... Man, sorry, bud. I don't think I have another... I have a Wash Away. I don't think I can use it. That's it. That's it. I guess 23 cards in hand and 20 mana on the battlefield is a little bit too much to keep up with. That was silly. That was a Commander game. That was a paper Commander game. Heavy-handed. Oh, these achievements just keep giving. This is a riot. Oh, goodness. Let's open a pack. I got a pack off the Mastery Pass. Love that outfit. All right. We've got a... Wild Road, Skybox Fairy, Burner Rocket, Gear Seeker Serpent, Walking Sarcophagus, Alacrian, Alacrian Jaguar, like Alacrity, Uncommon Wild Card, and a Crypt Caller Chariot. I hear this is just okay. I hear this is just an alright card. Right, let's hop back in. Things are going pretty well for us tonight. I think we're doing a decent job. Your only pal with the Fifth Avatar. Hashton Scarab's Fist. Scary card. I think they're one of the face cards from the Aether Drift Commander products. 1/3 zombie wizard for Orzhov with whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 2 in blue. If you do, create a tapped token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. So that is a crazy powerful ability. They're going to be able to chuck enormous things. So I'm expecting this to be kind of a reanimator deck with so much more. This is so tempting to keep with a Wash Away in hand. Actually, this is a very aggressively costed commander. We don't have much to go into, but just by virtue of having a turn 2 Wash Away, I'm going to keep it. They are going to get skittish when I just drop an island and pass. In a perfect world, I'd throw a fetch. Surveilling away this isolated chapel. They're probably a little flush with mana in hand. Yeah, because I would have come into play untapped. They're probably pretty mana flooded. Which means we can probably trip them up pretty nicely if we get their commander next turn. How many choices? Oh, if we get the blue mana for that, that's back-to-back counter spells. That is not a fun experience for anyone. Sorry. Too scary. Too scary. We have nothing to back this up with. We have nada. Although what I will do here is I'll drop Kami. I'll drop a forest. We'll go +1 mana just on the off chance that we draw something. That's going to give us access to Binding the Old Gods. It's going to give us access to Kicking Terra Sunder. Gosh, yeah, even just a... Because they're not going to... We really want to keep them off the mana to play Hashton and use them on the same turn. So that's not what we were looking for. But this will enable Counterspell in time. No, it won't. Ugh, and that's slow. We don't want that. So we really need black mana. Yeah, swinging for 1. You take that. Yeah, because they're going to go ahead and flip Ashton here. Yep. Mox Amber. Whatever. assuming that we're going to get some one-cost protection or one-cost counterspell, that I want to get that out of there. Yeah, I think getting keeping Hashton off the board, this card is probably so central to their game plan that just keeping them off the board and slowly accruing value ourselves is going to be the play. Jace, Vrin's Prodigy, loots. Yep, they had a looter right behind him. Alright, let's actually go ahead and grab a Surveil land. We want to make sure that we're keeping our momentum up as much as we can. We're still a little bit late on cards. Yeah, Forest. We'll just keep hitting our land drops. They have access to some counter spells, but not a ton. Oh, that doesn't matter. Yeah, Wesley, with the Surveil, we're going to shuffle anyway with the Storefront. I will grab another island just to open up our possibilities for this counterspell. They don't have Hashton mana next turn. If Zimone and Dina get countered, it's sad, but not fatal. They got something. They got nothing. That removal? No! No removal on their turn. They had priority for something. Yep. 5 or more cards in graveyard. Nope, they can't flip Jace. So they're just looking to loot. Psychic Frog in the yard. Look at this silly guy. Dark... Oh, okay. We're gonna Dark Writ. Are you gonna Dark Writ your commander? 7 mana's a lot on these colors. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing with that? I'm scared. Toxiril the Corrosive. Okay. So Toxiril is going to put slime counters and creatures. That's going to give our creatures -1/-1. That would have been a great thing to get with Hashton. So we can't deal with Toxiril exactly this turn, but it's not like it's going to turn our cards off. We're going to want to respond to the Toxiril trigger when we generate a snake, because we don't want to give them another slug. That's going to let them draw cards. No! Stop that! Get some help! Hopefully they don't attack in with Toxiril, because we are presenting a Death Touch Snake. We don't want to... It's going to hose our Ophiomancer. We don't want to give them the slug off the snake token, too. Zimone and Dina is eventually going to go down, but she's pretty... Or they're pretty inexpensive at this point. Balagad. Yeah, I think that getting Toxiril off the board is important. So we're going to do just that. Sorry, I am way more worried about that slug than I am with Jace. Oh, right! The debuff was tied to Toxiril, not to the counters. Okay. They're going to rummage. They have 5 cards, so they're going to do Jace. What does this side even do? Up to 1 creature gets -2/-0 until your next turn. You may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If the spell will be put into your graveyard, exile instead. You get an emblem with... Oh, ooh. Oh, boy. Ugh. What a nuisance. Sure. Need some salt for this slug. Ugh. Yeah, we're gonna get our Triumph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, let's put the slug to bed. It's a lot of mana for what we're doing, but I'm happy. They're also presenting counterspell mana, so we might just lose this. Oh, they're just gonna get a draw while they can. Okay. Great. This just about competes with Unburial Rights. Oh, our robot. Our robot. So sad. I do want to answer this eventually. This is going to let them play the late to dinner again, so they may just grab their slug. Like, this is quickly becoming a game of just deal with Toxaril. I've got a pretty respectable life total, so I can definitely take some attacks. The problem is this card just takes over the board. So much value, just takes care of the board. Oh! Oh, are they done not being able to cast Hashiton? Hashiton? No, Sarah's. Sarah's Emissary, great reanimator target. Create protection from creatures. Okay. It's going to functionally make their creatures unblockable, and I won't be able to hit with any creature-based removal. So I'm going to do what I can. Empty hand, I'm going to play Zimone and Dina. I'm going to throw in out of fetch land. I'll probably grab... Do I have Surveil lands left? I've got the... We're missing the black-blue one. So we can still Surveil. That's fine. Down to 19. Alright, Jace. Okay, that is a thing you can do. They're still shy on Hashiton. Oh, you are cruel. Get out of here with your removal spam. Ugh. I play a lot of Esper in Paper, so this is definitely my comeuppance. Undercity Sewers. Sorry, Halfling. Great card, but you are not going to help us here. You know what? Just a fat Villainous Wealth would be excellent. Yeah, take one. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so this is really fun if we're able to pull this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 3. So let's grab 3 lands, 3 Sarah's Emissary, and 3 Jace really doesn't do anything. Yeah, I think let's grab 6 lands and 3 Sarah's Emissaries. 1. Yeah, and we'll do untapped lands so that I can cast Command Tower, so I can cast Zimone and Dina this turn. 3. We can shock 3 times. Let's see. Do they got a counterspell? Oh baby, oh baby. No counterspell. All right, you're gonna be pro creature. You're gonna be pro instant. You're gonna be pro sorcery. Oh, that felt great. Oh, that felt great. Oh, that felt great. All right, we have 3 Sarah's Emissaries. I guess they couldn't get up to Zimone and Dina this turn. 3 Sarah's Emissaries, giving us all protection from these 3 card types. Toxic Deluge. You're gonna pay 7? Okay, yep, take care of your own Emissary, that's fine. I'm still at a massive mana advantage. I'm also gonna do quite a bit of damage with Meat Hook. Okay, Z and D, let's go. Actually, do I have this off of cycling? Can I cycle for the win here? Oh, we got it! Oh, we had no reason to win that game. That was fantastic. Ugh. And that is why I play Doppelgang and other stupid garbage instead of Emergent Ultimatum. Is it efficient? No. Does it lead to situations like that? Absolutely. Oh, what a blast. All right, babes. It is 8:45 Eastern Time. I would love a break and to get myself a little more tea. I'll see you at 9 o'clock. See you on the other side. Alright, loves, we are back. Let's hop back into the Historic Brawl ladder for a little bit more Zimone and Dina. How's everyone's night still going? Stardew treating you okay? Aw, good. Oh, this hand is hot garbage. No acceleration, no lands, nothing to do. I hate it. Oh, this is a lot more tempting. Faramir. Oh, Faramir showing his value. Okay. We've got... Faramir is a human noble that rewards our player based on what we... Or rewards the other player based on what we do. So at the beginning of their end step, they choose an opponent. It'll be me. At the beginning of that player's next end step, yeah, they draw a card if I didn't attack. Otherwise, they create 3 soldiers. So it's just kind of going to be a value pile. This hand is really top hand heavy. Oh, that seems so specific and so fun. Yeah, we're going to take the extra mulligan here. I think we're going to drop Meat Hook. They can go a little bit wide off the commander, but I'm not exactly banking on it. This hand on the play is fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and grab, I'm going to say this Breeding Pool, because we're going to go ahead and Kami into this Zagoth Triome. It really doesn't matter what we fetched up in this case. Getting the shock is going to let us... Hello? Hello, Submit One, thank you. Getting this shock is going to give us the... Or getting this Triumph is going to let us play double pip a little bit. Yeah, let's see what they do on 1 white. We might just... we might just eat a Swords to Plowshares, but that's part of the hazard. Got a little bit of input lag on my UI this time. I might do a quick relog on the next break. Aw, you couldn't get the tilapia. I'm sorry. So, let's see. I'm going to power out a Scoot early. Usually, I hold... What is happening? I'm clicking is a little bit weird today. Hello? Hello? I'm gonna do a little bit of, figuring out what's going on here. This is a wired mouse. We should be fine. There, this is better. Now, there we go. So I would see people hold up Scoot Swarm until they have the 6 lands necessary to kind of go big with them. Yeah, this is weird. We're getting some weird stuff going on with our inputs here. Come on, there we go. We're not playing on mobile. But I'm going to go ahead and power Scoot out now just to have a little bit of extra sacrifice fodder. They're going to take a minute to get set up. So getting ahead of curve, especially when they don't have the mana to hold up interaction and play, is a big deal. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw up our Be Right Back and reset my client. This is not fun. You know, maybe we can just do a cheeky reset on the mouse here. Come on, I want a sacrifice here, please. You're killing me. Oh. Yes, please. For the love of all that's good. Nope. Aw, goodness. Nah, we're going to desktop, babes. I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna mess with this. The technology, she is fighting me. Hello. There, we might have a solution. Oof. Just remapped one of my mouse buttons super duper fast. I wish we had access to that Kami, but that is okay. We can keep playing. So this is going to give us a couple of Scoot Swarm triggers. Yeah, I'm using like an action button now to manipulate my mouse. It is super weird. It's almost like I have a sticky mouse key. There, let's get a little bit more variety in our lands. I want to grab that swamp. That's going to give us another Scoot. We love the Scoots. Yeah, let's get a Zulaport into play. No combat, no need. Actually, they can only block one, and we do have a Zulaport in play, so let's throw him in. Yeah, we're gonna eat that. That's what we wanted to do the first time. There we go. Throw a land into play. This is going to trigger our Scoot Swarm's ability, giving us a copy. We might be running into a board wipe, but at the very least, we'll do some damage with Zulaport, and we've got the mana to reset. Alright, they're going to cycle that Censor. Yeah, this is a deck that really likes to have Faramir just kind of chill on the battlefield. Okay, let's kind of have Faramir chill on the battlefield, and runs a pretty slow control game otherwise. So we're going to go ahead and, considering we don't have the mana to hold up interaction, we're going to just get rid of Faramir there. They're still going to get this ability. I think I'd rather them have soldiers than a card draw. So we're going to go ahead and push in. Yeah, because we can trigger Scoot Swarm. So we're going to go ahead and get in a little bit of... Oh, really wish I had done that. That's okay. We're going to grab a... Actually going to shock this in. We have the mana that we might be able to draw into something interesting. That's going to give us some clones. We're going to get a drain off of Zulaport. Things are going suspiciously well. I don't know if I trust it. I think the odds of them playing a value artifact are going to be a lot lower than the value that we're going to get. Our land for the turn. There we go. More Scoots! More Scoots! Eventually, Scoot Swarm is going to get lethal enough that they'll need to use, or Scoot Swarm is going to get, like, we're going to stack enough of these creatures that Zulaport becomes lethal unless they throw an exile removal. And that could be anything. Okay. They're more kind of on the soldier token strategy. There we go. Let's throw a Tireless out there. Can they completely annihilate our Scoots? I don't think so. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw all of that in. I'm going to throw our Chupacabra in. I'm going to throw our Ranger in. I really want to start pushing for some serious damage before they get too... Essentially, they get too tanked up. Because I'm afraid that if they get a sufficient amount of draw, they're just going to take over the game. Okay, with this drain, Scoot Swarm is lethal. Not Scoot Swarm, Zulaport is lethal. So I'm going to go ahead and just slow them down a tiny bit. That's 2 mana with the Relic 3 if they play Faramir. And getting that out of the way is going to just slow them down a hair. Okay, they're going to put some 1/1 counters on their creatures. If we weren't in the position we are, I would be a little bit more intimidated. That is also going to give them vigilance until the end of turn, which is a big deal. I really don't care. I have mana or I have life to... Ooh, spicy! I don't think that's enough, but I like what they were doing. We're just gonna meat hook the board. We're gonna meat hook the board for lethal. That's gonna wipe everything. We've got damage from Zulaport and from Meat Hook Massacre, and that's it. There we go. So now with that game over, I'm gonna throw up my Be Right Back screen, and sorry, too early. We're gonna throw up our Be Right Back screen and figure out what's happening with our mouse. Give me 2 minutes. Oof, there we go. Yeah, end of an era. I think our super cheap 10-year-old gaming mouse is dead. Found myself a little work one that will get us through the rest of the evening. Not winning any Halo competitions with this thing, but for a card game, it's fine enough. Let's hop back in queue. Everyone loves to hear a great comeback story. Never give up. We've had a couple of those tonight. We've had a couple that we had no business winning. Oh, hi, O'Meal, baby. Hey, sweetheart. I know. You're so staticky. Why are you so staticky? Sweet baby. Who are we up against next? Ooh, 1029 Ghost Stop. Yeah, baby. Alright, they're playing Quenza, Augur of Agonies. They are a 3/4 Octopus Advisor for 1 in Esper with Vigilance, and whenever you draw a card, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. This card loves to combo with things like Glimpse the Infinite, other ways to let them draw a bunch of cards. They might come out early and just gradually drain us. They might come out late and try to combo off. No! Oh no, that's the worst! No acceleration, but we have early removal, and we have a Sylvan Ranger, so I think this is okay. I may just throw the Bajuka Bog to start us off, because I'm not expecting them to really rely too much on graveyard interaction. These are great colors for it, but it's not really central to any of Quenza's strategies. Up there, they're presenting black mana on turn 1. Are we gonna get cut down? Oh, I am not sticking through that. The indignity stifled my Shockland. No, I am not giving you the satisfaction of getting more quests done. Get out of here. How rude. Absolutely heinous. It's like a Stone Rain for 1. How miserable. Stifled my fetch land in Singleton. That is crazy. I would expect that kind of play out of Timeless. I would definitely prepare myself for Timeless, especially with the prominence of like Lotus Field decks. But Balin the Haymaker. Oh, Balin is so fun. Balin cares a lot about tokens in general. Balin plays really, really well with Heir Apparent, the new you can have as many of a card type. Card from, not Bloomburrow, but it looks like a Bloomburrow card from Foundations. Love the anime art too. Excellent, excellent taste. Balin's fun. I like our hand. We've got Forest, we've got Mystic. The only way it would be better is if we could open up with a Shockland rather than a basic Forest, because this isn't going to get us into Zimone and Dina early, but it might let us power out some more aggressive stuff. There's that mana drain. Alright, we're going to throw... yeah, let's attack. I'm not going to bluff having a Snakeskin Veil here. Balin doesn't do a ton on their own. They've got a decent stat line at 4/3. They're a little bit on the flimsy side. Okay, give us a Signet. That's fair magic. Yeah. Yeah, see, team, my brother did something very similar back in, it was our high school robotics club. Now I'll bluff having a Snakeskin. In our high school robotics club is he, like, because he only wears super duper, like, floofy big clothing, Kyle generates a lot of static, and he just thunderbolted our computer at some point. He was a little bit surprised. I would love to have the mana available to drain. I think because Gala Greeters is going to turn on so many token strategies. Oh, if I did that in the opposite order. Wait, no, I can do it. I would rather them have a 3/2 flyer than this Gala Greeters. Yeah, let's create a tap token. Especially if we start... they don't want to sit through it. Fair and based. I was going to give them, build up a little bit of token with this Gala Greeters and eventually go for a fat doppelgang, but... I guess they didn't want to sit for it. Yeah, it was like an ancient, like, ThinkPad from the... I want to say the early 2000s that he annihilated, which is so funny. No, Oatmeal has this very, like, bristly fur, and she's so sweet. She gets cold super easily, so we've got her in a sweat jacket pretty much full time. So she just generates static, especially when she gets all excited and kind of vibrates. Like, she swings her little rat tail so powerfully that her whole body vibrates. It's so cute. Our lands are weird. Our lands of weird. Turn 1 bop, we'll take. But it's weird. If we get any other untapped land that isn't a basic forest, then we've got Zimone and Dina on turn 2. So yeah, we'll throw out the bop. I am so pleased they printed this card via Bloomburrow into Arena. Ah, well done. Hello. Turn 1 bop and we can't do anything. Let's see, who are they playing? Troyan Gutsy Explorer, a Vidalcan Scout, 1/3 with... Okay, it's and they loot and they can generate mana for big spells, so it's kind of a big spells matters deck. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna hedge maze. Sure, at this point I've got my colors. We can hit a Wari Disruption, especially if they try to commander. Do it. Do it. Play into my counter spell. Okay, yeah, we're gonna send Uro to the bin. That's fine. Especially if they were banking on that for their land drop. Cool. Now we have what we need. I don't think we're gonna get, like, we don't have a huge payoff for Mana Drain. I'd rather wait this until a little bit later in the game to Mana Drain to feed into Villainous Wealth. Yep. Especially because they're gonna be pushing out, one off Tatiova. That's fine, we have Mana Drain mana. Can you get me a swamp? You can get me a swamp. I do not like being reliant on a mana dork for... I could also sweep, but I prefer to keep that up for the drain. So here's hoping that they try to curve out into something huge with the 2 mana from Troyan. This still leaves them 4 available, but for a mana value 5 or an X spell, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Three's good enough. You gonna counter me back? This guy! Oof! I am in so much pain. Well, they're not going to be able to utilize this as effectively because they're going to get their 2 mana at the beginning of this phase. Yeah, so if anything, I took a mana drain out of their hand. Yeah, they don't really have okay, they're gonna foretell something. They don't really have colors, and we're gonna be able to Tatiova into a fetch land, and that is huge. Excellent, and we're actually gonna chill here. Just pretend I have a Stifle. Apparently that'll ruin my whole day. Let's hope I can use it on someone else. X return. Okay. This is essentially just a... It's basically an Explorer. They're not doing a huge amount with it. There we go. Their board's looking ripe for a Toxic Deluge, too. If this is just a pile of extra turn spells, so help me, I will lose my mind. I say playing the Sultai deck. Pass it up, buddy. Okay. Now, we're gonna grab a Triome, draw a card. Cool. Sorry, my bird friend. You're going to the bin. Take a bird, draw a card. Lock Wayne. That's gonna get us out of some tight situations. Drain, draw. Okay, we can get a lot of cards here. Oh, please give me a counterspell for the Lotus Cobra. Please. Yep. That is ideal, actually. Are they tapped down? Well, they have 1 available, so we're still going to get a really respectable amount of mana off, or a respectable amount of card draw off Tatiova. Do we have the mana we need to Stomper and Deluge? No, but we can Kami and Deluge. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up another land here. An island looks pretty good. What's our draw? Okay, counterspell. I can Deluge and counterspell. Yeah, I can have counterspell protection for my Deluge. They've got a lot of mana available and a pretty respectable board presence. I don't want to mess with that too badly. We love it when that happens. Let's see, we're gonna go black, black, blue, Deluge for 3. Any pump essentially nullifies this. I think I'm okay with getting into a counterspell war. Okay, that's it. That's it. They did not want to play up against our mana advantage. All right, I'll take it. That is the game. On to the next. If you can cast a card that isn't actually in your hand, you'll see a variation of it there that you can drag out to cast, just the same as if it was really there. Thank you, Magic Arena. I do love this UI. Like, there are issues on the back end. I do not like alchemy cards. I do not like digital only cards, but I do love the UI. I think it's really clean. Nadu, oh, we are in for a bad time. Nadu is just another entry in Simic's long legacy of get a card, play a land, get a card, play a land. Now, this is the alchemy nerfed version. So rather than giving each creature 2 discrete instances of this ability, it's going to only globally trigger twice, but it's so easy to trigger this draw land effect that even letting Nadu hang out for a while is not a great thing to have happen. Our lands are also slow as dirt, so upside we've got Wash Away in the hand. Downside, our lands are incredibly slow, so I think we're going to go ahead and throw out the Broker's Hideout. Because there is a world where Fabled becomes, as the 4th land, becomes untapped on the play. So I'm going to hang on to it for a minute. Worst comes to worst. Okay, that... Yep, they have a cheap way to activate Nadu. We have to make sure that Nadu does not resolve. They didn't accelerate, though, which is good news. So we're going to go ahead and hit this with Utopia Sprawl. We have ways to get blue. I'm going to go ahead and just put that on blue there. It's not going to raise alarm bells for our opponent too badly because we've got now our 3 colors. Lost Jite. Yeah, this is going to be a little grimy Nadu shuffle the equipments across my board and get a whole bunch of card advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt that in. Because I hope we can get Zimone and Dina to resolve. Okay. And we still have Wash Away mana available. We are advertising so hard that we have Wash Away, but if it keeps our opponent from doing something that makes us unhappy, then I'll take it. Past that, our next play is Rexage to take away one of their artifacts. Jite is scary, but Leather Armor is free. I'm thinking it's Leather Armor, then Casualties of War, and by that point we should... Oh no! They got the Cavern of Souls. Goodness. Well, at the very least, we can still take away the Leather Armor. They're going to get a land if it comes into play. Okay. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. If you control an Eldrazi, you gain 3 life. So that actually isn't going to hurt us too badly. So as our 4th land, let's grab this. I want this on Forest. Yeah, that's a fine combination of mana. And I'm going to take this Leather Armor. Just makes Nadu a little bit easier to interact with, especially if they tap out for whatever nonsense they want to do this turn. They're open to a Casualties of War, and with a nice mixture of card types on the field, this will put us at a serious advantage if we're able to resolve it. No protection now, but at the very least, I'm going to get a card draw and a land drop off of Zimone and Dina. Oh, okay. Okay, nice. Nice forest. Thank you, W-Fro. Woofro. Woof. Woof. Yeah, hear that, Oatmeal? Woof, 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 woof. What are you doing? Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Yeah, and because each of those bite spells are going to trigger Nadu's ability, that's a sound thing to use. Sure. There's one. Yep, another cheap equipment. They're going to get their other trigger. They're not hitting land drops, which is encouraging to see. What do you do? Ugh, alchemy. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has Ward 1. Whenever an equipped creature attacks, conjure a random card from Tone of Gadwick's spellbook into your hand. Preordain, Ponder, Opt. Oh, it's all the little cantrippy spells. They do have 1 mana open for something like a Snake Skin, which I'm not happy about. 2 mana open. I don't think that we're going to get this Casualties of War to work. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's go for it. Make him have it. Do they have an enchantment? I have an enchantment. They don't have an enchantment. Alright, we're going to grab the Tome, the Nadu, yes, and the Cavern. We're going to get stopped here. I am all so certain. With a hand size like that. No Snakeskin, no Snakeskin, no Hexproof, no Heroic Intervention, no Counterspell. Well, they don't have the mana for Counterspell, but any number of the negate type effects. Are they choosing which protection spell to use here? That could be it. Naughty, my friend. Come on. I gave you a card. Oh, Scythe Cat Cub. That's adorable. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's big for 1/1 counter strategies. That's fun. You've got the mana, buddy. Don't want to preordain. Don't want to fetch. They've got such a presence, this isn't even too big of a blowout if it connects. Oh, it connects. Okay. Okay, we're back in the game. Yeah, they might have been AFK. They let Nadu go to the yard. That's it. Sorry, friends. I hope you had something. I hope you didn't have something going on that distracted you from the game. On to the next. And then that barley tea is calling for me. I gotta go get a cup and get back. Wild cards can be redeemed in your collection for cards of the same rarity. I'm a little starved on wild cards, building my Mardu Aristocrats deck for laddering and Historic this season ate up quite a few of my cards. Playing a 4-of of a Johnny is a little bit tough. I love the redundancy. I love being able to flip him using the legend rule. It's great. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's a Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie, these are the most, like, crunchy, control-y, not fun to play against decks. Nashi, Illusion Gadgeteer. Ugh, when Nashi enters, secretly choose a card in your graveyard and conjure a duplicate into your hand. If the duplicate isn't a land card, it perpetually gains flash. I've seen these decks loop counter spells. I've seen these decks do some really nasty stuff. So between Nashi and Pinkie Pie, we are in for a terrible time. Good news here is we are on the play, and we have our Sloth. We have our Static Sloth in hand. So if we can get ahead of them setting up whatever they want to do, then we'll be in good shape. This deck, even though they're playing the same colors as we are, this deck typically is a lot more on the control side. Expect really premium removal, expect a fair bit of counter spells. I'm curious to see if they're going to advertise a wash away here. I would have imagined they would have cracked it on my turn if they had a 1-mana counter spell. Yep, they're just going for a Triome. Okay. We might actually get to enjoy untapping with Zimone and Dina on turn 3. They're playing slow. Oh, that is surprising. Let's try to get this Ophiomancer into play. Ophiomancer is a great source of just having a even stream of tokens to sacrifice. They are so classic in Paper, Zimone and Dina 2, and just any strategy that likes having creatures in play like Braids and any number of your black and splash black for sacrifice type effects. The Arboreal Grazer is pretty good for sacrifice fodder too, just, you know, throw the poor thing in the wood chipper. But if I can keep it around as an 0-3 blocker, I will. Nashi's stat line is pretty good, but we really don't. I mean, we don't have a counterspell in hand. He's gonna resolve. Okay, they're ramping. They seem to be having a pretty slow start. These colors can move a lot faster than this. That might be the thing that saves us, because this deck really scares me. Fetching it instant. Let's see, we gotta check what's in their graveyard. So the only option, if they hit Ganashi now, the only option they're gonna get is Glimpse the Core. Which, you know, having your commander go +1 mana or +1 lands for 2 mana is pretty good. Yeah. Usually I would save these Capenna lands for landfall shenanigans, but we don't really have a good landfall enabler. Like, we've just got a lot of generic mana sources and value engines here. Gonna get the Ophiomancer in. We have removal, but no, removal almost doesn't do anything for Nashi. Yep, that's about what I expected. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get a little bit of value on the way down. Fortunately, we've gotten... Ooh. How hard does this go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I'd like to go deeper. I think we're in a good place to just play Zimone and Dina and pass it up. Oop. Yeah, let's get some more music in here. Perfect. Nietzsche's Pilgrimage. Search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards. Reveal them, put one of them into the battlefield, and the rest into your hand. Then shuffle. If there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards. 3 basic forest cards instead of 2. Okay, so it's a little better than Cultivate. Yeah, Rusco, that's about what I'd expect. Does Nashi just hit instants and sorceries? Any card. Any card. Alright, Tireless Provisioner. Why is this also a swamp? What did I do to make it a swamp? Did I do anything to make it a swamp? Did you make it a swamp? Why is that a swamp? Oh, do you have an Urborg? They do. They do have an Urborg in play. That Murderous Rider is just here for sacrifice fodder. I'm really hoping that I can get 2... If I get 2 lands off the top, especially if they spend out... Oh, they only have 1 blue. That's good for us. Especially if they spend out, then I've got access to a very big Villainous Wealth. They are going. They really wanted to overcome some kind of Snakeskin Veil or whatever. So we're putting ourselves in a really good position for a huge Villainous Wealth. Love to see it. Fetch land. We love to see it. Show me another land. That's okay. Treasure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to be able to do this for X equals 8. X equals 9 now. So Urborg would let us tap this for black. But I would like to shock it a land so I can get another treasure. We're going to play our land drop for the turn, get another treasure. Let's do a quick surveil. Growth Spiral is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can hit Wealth for 9. Show me your top 9 cards. Let's see if they Pact of Negation this. They can't play the blue for Pact of Negation. I hope they do it. Nope, no interaction for nothing in hand. Ooh, a Krasis. This is just going to die in the play. I don't care. Decline. Ooh. Season of Weaving. Yes. I'd actually rather have... Yeah, I'll take 3 cards and a clone. Shigeki is fine. I don't really care for Jace, and it's going to get transformed under their control, so I'm actually going to put the Death Sprout on the stack. Oh no, I can't. It doesn't work that way. Okay, that was just a bunch of generically okay cards. Yeah, Krasis just doesn't do anything. I'm going to get a Growth Spiral. I get a Jace. I get a Shigeki. This is going to be big. I'll take another Provisioner. Yep, and Krasis just evaporates. This is going to give me a fair amount of mana, so we're going to go ahead and play that. I'm going to set myself up for the Growth Spiral and pass it. I guess I can attack in for 3 and pass it up. It wasn't like an earth-shattering villainous wealth, but it was a lot of value. We got a lot of stuff. They can also just grab a damnation from their graveyard. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do something about this. Wing and a prayer. What? I had nothing. Oh, don't leave so easily. Yeah, I had nothing in hand. That would have gone nowhere. That's fine. Let's go again. The Cloudspire Racing Team are the high-speed, low-drag winners of last year's Garifor Grand Prix. With their professionalism and star personalities, they're favored to win again this year. They also have a new leader, Chandrina Lar. The Keel Haulers. What do they do? Keel Haul. Oh. Alright, what do we have? What do we have? Opponents on the play. Who are we playing? Oh, Emrakul, the world anew. So they're going to want to look to play this relatively fairly. They can't really discard her, so we're not going to have to worry about that reduced madness cost. So yeah, they're going to want to just ramp up fast, take control of all of our creatures, and swing in. This is a slow hand. These are all excellent enablers, but we want a little bit more speed. Same problem. This we can play. This we can play. I would much rather have the Fell the Profane and the Seagate, especially if they play something like a Palladium Myrrh that's going to let them go really far on mana. So this is great too with a fetch in hand, and I think, yeah, you can access our Drowned Catacomb. So we're going to go ahead. Ooh. Let them get to 12 mana and then stuff their Emrakul, if only. Yeah, we're going to have Zimone and Dina in play next turn easily. Okay, we'll take another fetch land. Landfall deck, it's sometimes always excellent to just have a little bit of extra land on top. I'm actually going to go from this to go grab a Breeding Pool. Oh, if you interact 2 colorless, you can't. There is no Elemental Blast, which could counter Zimone and Dina here. It's 1 card. They have interaction. It's not cracking Urza's Cave, which this is a little dangerous. This is going to get any land. If they get a Cavern of Souls and then name Eldrazi, that takes away the counterspell. The counterspell move. It also, Emrakul the World Anew and all the other big Eldrazi effects are all on cast, rather than on enters the battlefield. So, get out of here with that. No mana, no acceleration. Keep you under control. Yeah, I'm gonna still hang on to Fell the Profane for any kind of, like, big mana-generating creatures or other utility Eldrazi. We do have a Memory Lapse. One of the things we want to prepare for a little bit too is a Forsaken Monument on 5. There's a couple ways to tutor for it as well. That'll double the value of all their colorless lands. Really classic acceleration piece for colorless builds like this and like Tron builds. Echoing Deeps. My friend, what are we doing? I think it's about sending a message. I mean, really here, I just want to keep them slow. This is a deck that can't really do a lot early on. So if I keep them nice and slow, and by memory lapsing, I'm going to deprive them acceleration, and I'm going to choke up their draw, which is big. All right. I'm going to play our Fell. There is a world where we eat the Tireless Provisioner. I don't like it. She's good for big plays, but we have to keep moving fast. Yeah, giving them access to looting here too would have also been pretty dangerous. Excuse me. Still adjusting to that daylight savings. It's about sending a message. Ooh, that was a little naughty. That was a little naughty of me. And this is why I'm dead first in most of my commander tables. Ooh, that was a little naughty. I think I need to go outside and think about what I've done. You just those big greedy decks, you just gotta slow them down enough. Oh, Ketramos. Ketramos is a fantastic commander. Ketramos rewards their player for exiling cards. If they exile anything, if a card goes to exile, yeah, they don't even have to be the one exiling. If a card goes to exile on their turn, they're going to draw and lose 1 life. Ketramos just draws a dumb number of cards. You can play Ketramos in a Blink Shell, you can play Ketramos in a Heavy Control Shell. They're excellent. It really is. We can take Ketramos with Volatile Stormdrake, so we don't have any acceleration. But I think we're gonna try to be a little mean here. I think we're gonna try to be a little mean with Fixed Gilded Drake. A combo piece with no combo in hand. Can't do it. There you go. There you go. Let's make sure they're nice and safe playing Ketramos. Now, if they are playing a Flicker Shell and they flicker the Volatile Stormdrake, they're gonna get the trigger. Okay, Ghost Vacuum. Kind of another addition to your standard, like, list of I exile a card. It's a 1 mana artifact that just has exile a card or interferes with the graveyard. So that's a very cheap and effective way to get things exiled. If I play, my yard is empty, their yard is empty, they can't get anything off of Ghost Vacuum, they're tapped down, I'm safe to play Zimone and Dina. So my thinking here is there was a world where if they had a little bit more mana available, they don't even have colors. Are they just gonna remove her? You're gonna Field of Ruin? Oh yeah? Sure. That's fine. In a forest. They're probably fishing for their colors. And looking for something to vacuum, maybe? It almost doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't like that you have exile on command with Ketramos, so we're gonna flush your vacuum. Those don't go to the graveyard, they just leave forever. We're gonna play a slow land. I think that's okay. So Rex Sage did its job. We're going to feed our Rex Sage to Zimone and Dina somewhere in the turn. Even if they remove, we've got mana for her again. I think we're in a fine position. Okay, Deluge X equals 4. That was a little heavy, but we don't want, I guess we don't want Zimone and Dina in play. To the zone. If we draw a land, we'll just play Tatiova. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Land on top. Yes, please. And we're gonna yoinkity splankety. Oh, what a nice Ketramos you got. Shame if somebody took it. And you know what? I'm not even gonna give them the opening to take that back. Are you gonna borrow time your own Ketramos? Okay. Okay, which will then let them put it in the command zone, I guess? Although I was the one who controlled it. Yeah, they're stuck in the hole. This might be working out great for us. I'm gonna get Zimone and Dina into play here. No interaction? What do I want from the graveyard? That will go back to... I think me? If I move that? I think me, but we're just gonna robot. Get a card draw. Get some life, drain some life. Forest. Yeah, we're a little light on green. There's our Sloth. Tatiova getting her licks in. Good for you. They're gonna peek our hand, exile a card. That's it. That's it. Operation Steel God has worked out nicely for us. Yeah, so this is definitely like the Ketramos is so powerful. And having onboard indestructible is fantastic. Like that is fantastic. But it's one of those decks that gets really badly damaged by not having their commander in play. And by depriving of them of that, I don't think they had a route to recover here. I really don't think they had a route to come back. So I'm going to take a very quick pause, like be back in 5. That barley tea has been calling to me for the last 40 minutes, and I could use something. See you in 5-10 minutes. There we go. We're back. Still kind of adjusting to daylight savings here. I might call it at about maybe 10:30, but we can play a little bit more. But first, before we go, I want to show off the newly spoiled SpongeBob SquarePants Secret Lair. I noticed these came down today and was losing it at some of the card choices here. Yeah, C-Team, I missed that before. Oh, either Steel God, Kill God, or some combination therein. Such a classic. Oh my gosh. I usually have big feelings about secret lairs like this, but I can't. Plankton Tiny Tyrant as Skrelv, or Skrelv as Plankton Tiny Tyrant. That is so funny. I went to college. Charix the Raging Isle as Mr. Krabs Penny Pincher. Delightful. Great choice. Grizzlax Illithid Scholar as Squidward Sarcastic Snob. That's a riot. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. I hate all of you. Oh goodness. Toxaril as Gary. We've had enough fun with Toxaril today. Toski as Sandy Cheeks. I could not pick a better card for Sandy than Toski. Indestructible fighty squirrel. That squirrel type line is on the vanilla card. This is not an addition. Patrick Star. Barktooth Warbeard. How old is this card? This card is ancient, and it is not good. 6/5 vanilla for 7 is miserable. Oh, yeah, that is an absolutely ancient card. From Legends, yeah. Original Legends block. Captured well in the flavor text. SpongeBob is Joe to the Unifier. That checks. I'm gonna have to deal with this in Commander Circles now. I lost it here. Here's where I lost it. Somehow this not having flavor text enhances the card. I don't have an explanation beyond this. I can't. Great choices. Oh, Force of Despair. Oh my god. I feel this in my soul. Oh yeah, the Krabby Patty food to round things out is delightful. The card art for the lands is just so cute. Rock bottom. Oh, these are good. This makes me happy. This is so good. All right. Yes, exactly. Counterspell, like the original counterspell, like blue counter target spell, has been such a vehicle for like the sassiest, spiciest flavor text. I think there's a printing of it that just says no. I'm not gonna look it up here. I'll throw it on stream at some point in the future, but like there's a printing of that card that just says no. It's so satisfying. Speaking of satisfying, finally got that promised barley tea. I'm so happy. Our local Costco has a fantastic import section, and they've been bringing these in like the 100 pack. It's so good. I like this start. Utopia Sprawl, lots of lands in hand, landfall payoff, a little bit removal. That's great. Who are we up against? Ooh, we love a good anime alt art in this family. Evereth, Viceroy of Plunder. Flying, sacrifice another creature or artifact. Put a 1/1 counter on Evereth. If the sacrifice permanent was a treasure, Evereth gains lifelink until the end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. When Evereth dies, you may pay 1 and hybrid black-red. When you do, Evereth deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. So it's kind of an aggressive aristocrats type build. We can play through that, especially on the play. Okay. I'm sorry. I was taking my time to learn your commander. I was looking forward to that game. It's a shame. Might not have wanted to play Sultai. This Zimone and Dina kind of has a little bit of a reputation on the ladder for just being a deck that rushes Emergent Ultimatum, and like I said at the top of the stream, it's just not what I'm going for. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it makes for fun moments. I am so glad we had a doppelgang out of nowhere makes this game absurd play on this stream, because those are my favorite moments. Like, definitely, especially if we've been doing something insane like Springheart Nantuko on a Primeval Titan, getting up to 20-25 mana for a Doppelgang just feels excellent. Is it win more? Yes. Are there more elegant ways to win the game? Yes. But they make me unhappy. Okay, we're up against the Boy Emperor Apaztec until the 4th. He loves 4. When another creature you control enters, if the correct creature perpetually gains haste if its power is 4 or greater. If its toughness is 4 or greater, they gain 4 life. If its mana value is 4 or greater, seek a creature card. So this is going to play a lot of 4-drops. Great colors on Naya for acceleration too, so that'll certainly be coming down earlier than turn 4. Speaking of acceleration, this is a dud hand. We have no green. No green, no acceleration. This is a much better hand. Nothing really to pay off with Springheart and Nantuko yet, but at the very least, if it just is a 1/1 for 2 that generates tokens, we'll take it. Very classic move. Start off with a command tower for green, throw out one of our basic lands, and we are ready for Zimone and Dina. Playing on a turn 1 like that, we might just be running her into a Swords to Plowshares, but if they've got one in hand, she's gonna go anyway. Oh, or they're going to play a tap land. This land is scary. It enables haste, which can be really punishing in this deck. Oh, they have free interaction. They might have a Fury. Any of the Evoke Elementals are going to have a high enough mana value to satisfy Apaztec's. I look forward to being corrected, but look forward to, they trigger their commander's ability, especially with any of these like mana value matters commanders. If you have any way to cheat on that mana value and get kind of double dip a little bit, they put you in a really good position. You can almost kind of play a little bit of a scam deck. Chrome Mox, here we go. Oh, I wish we had a spell to crush that Chrome Mox, get a little 2-for-1. Considering Arena of Glory can get haste too, this might be scary. Or I can give haste. The Chrome Mox is going to give them the red to pay in for it, or they're going to... Oh, they did have a Solitude. They did have an Incarnation. Yep. Okay. I think this is a pretty clean play. We're going to go ahead. We're just going to do this on our turn. Don't give them the opportunity to get some hexproof into hand. This is a deck that, while not singly dependent on the commander for value, they can definitely just kind of play big Naya. It helps. So slowing them down a little bit is going to help here, especially with this Mox on the battlefield, not letting them get away with too many shenanigans too early. Now, I have put Chrome Mox in most of my decks that would benefit from it. Okay, yeah, get your Utopia Sprawl. I put Chrome Mox in most of my decks that would benefit from it, but not in a landfall deck. I would rather honestly spend that on another land. Speaking of, now if we top deck into a land, we did not, but we can Splunk. That's gonna, if so importantly, let our tap lands enter untapped, which is a big deal. Oh, we can crush the Mox. Can't be countered, so we're safe from a Mana Tithe. I haven't seen Mana Tithe in a minute. I always feel like it's more of an insult than not. Let's see. They can play out. They can get their commander back into play. They can play out some decent hits on 5. We could, in a pinch, control it with Liliana, but I would love to just play Lily for value. Mirari's Wake, terrifying. That's a mana doubler. We don't have a way to deal with that right now, so we're... Oh, I didn't need to pay for the shock for that. So we're just going to try to accrue value with Liliana and hope for the best. This is scary. Not only is it an Anthem, it's also going to double their mana. Well, not double, technically. This will produce 3 instead. Roxanne! Here comes the rocks. They're gonna probably go to ping my zombie, but that's okay. Oh, they're just gonna get damage into Liliana. Alright. I think she gets haste. Yeah, that's fine. So she's gonna get another throw with the rock. She's probably going to try to knock down my oh, she's not gonna knock down my zombie with that. She would have deprived me of a blocker, because here I can blank the damage. Now, this does bring Lily low enough that I'm not going to be able to force them to sacrifice their creatures. Oh, I don't like those hits. We can force another draw. Yeah, if we get a land to play first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we're still short. We're still short. Thank you, Splinking. Sad robot. So, with the kind of mana we have. Alright. I think getting Roxanne out of here is actually the better play. She's just gonna keep generating value if we don't get rid of her. And I'm gonna throw out this Murderous Rider. This is just a block for Lily. Liliana's gonna generate an absolute crushing amount of value if we leave her into play. Eldrazi. Ulamog, the Defiler. Alright, and I think it's gonna get haste off this. That's Annihilator 6. That's terrifying. That might be it for us. Oh, yeah, we're not sticking around. Good game. Good job. They really utilized those haste enablers super duper well. Alright. Yeah, I think on that, 15 after 10. Let's look at sneaking in one more win, and then maybe calling this a night. Kolenkov the Mighty playing Rocco Street Chef. Rocco Street Chef, oh, great start. Rocco Street Chef, well, actually, this might not come in untapped. We're gonna go ahead and throw the halfling. Rocco Street Chef is going to exile cards from both of our libraries, and if anyone plays a card from exile, they get 1/1 counters and foods. So, we're hoisted on our petard a little bit, is we did not get the untapped land that we need. A Blood Artist here isn't dreadful, especially with a Scoot in hand. I'm actually going to go ahead. I was debating between keeping up the mana for Terra Sunder for exiling an artifact, or getting this Bird of Paradise onto the battlefield. With the bird onto the battlefield, it's going to let us get Zimone and Dina into play and have access to this Terra Sunder. Delighted Halfling can't tap for mana unless it's a legendary spell, so there's not even a point in bluffing. I'll get the one in. Yeah, they're also playing kind of slow. That might work out nicely for us. Because our Surveil land is a swamp, it's going to let us get a castle into play. Let's see, what do we want to protect here? We want to protect our, oh, really green mana, but we're gonna do some bluffing. We're gonna do some bluffing here. Can't counter, might have a swords. Oh, where's the interaction? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, they, you know what? That guarantees a land drop. Good for them. Yep, shock in the Rocco. Okay, puts a shock land into our hand. We don't really need it, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna grab our Scoot Swarm. Yeah. Could have left Castle Lockqueen mana open, but that's not really what we're going for. Let's see, what do they put in exile? They also put a land in exile. Those adventure spells also are in exile, so that's gonna count. It's gonna give them quite a few counters. So we're gonna get 2 insect tokens here, and we're just gonna pass it up. I'm expecting Rocco to get big enough because they do have 2 spells available from exile. Alright, bud. Here we go. We're going to blank that attack. Died for the cause, insect. Thank you. They might be looking for a wipe. Okay, they were looking for an opening to get rid of the Scoot Swarm, which is super fair. Oh, Tireless. I was actually thinking of holding that land for value, but I think it's okay. We're still going to get something off of it. A fetch land. Cool. Oh, I should have spent that differently to keep Castle Lochwain available. That's fine, though. They have a sorcery that they can use to deal with Zimone and Dina. Not common. Things that deal 4 damage are not the most common. So let's go ahead and accrue some treasures here. Yeah, we'll grab some more green mana. Oh, should have gotten blue. We'll be fine. Yeah, I don't want to deal with Rocco anymore. Rocco's Modern Strife. And Rocco is out. All right. Just got a little too much value too fast. All right, lovelies. It is getting late. We're not quite making that midnight goal yet, but I'll give myself a little bit of grace dealing with daylight savings. But thank you so much for hopping in and chatting with me today. This was Zimone and Dina on Historic Brawl. You can catch the VOD on YouTube if you want to watch any of our games, chat a little bit there. And we'll see everyone on Friday for Fortress Friday. We might swap back to Dwarf Fortress, or we might play a little bit of Foundation this week. But thank you so much for playing with me. Have a great night. Bye-bye.